The nature is so overwhelming. We just have to do a building very subtle, and it follows the landscaping of the surrounding, and that's what the client brief was also. When we came here, I think the contour, that's a side story which started telling us the contour is 8 feet down, one part of the site is around it, northeast part of it. So that's very interesting for us to start a concept or journey for this entire thing. And when we turned back and my client told there's a beautiful mountain, it was kind of an vista which connects to this building and the surrounding area. It's a beautiful mountain. So that I think these are the two things which we carried. The nature comes first, I would say, in this particular project. Nature comes first, and then the architecture or the building forms take over. Hi, I'm architect Nagendra Ramachandra and my partner Raghunandan Gururaj. We started a company called Parallax. Today we'll be taking you through the Butterfly House, which is in Ujire. It's a place name called Guruvayankere. For more details, you can visit Buildofy.com. Link is in the description. First part of the story was the site which is talking about the surrounding area was laterite. The red color was a very prominent for us to take some kind of a cue from there. The green, which we don't have to make, and it also surrounded by a lot of religious building. So we have to respect some kind of a cultural part of it, how the Tulsi Katte, which is very important in our Karnataka. Another thing is also how warmth, that once you come inside, you're part of the nature, you're not detached from the nature. So that's what we took the courtyard as the concept to be an experiential kind of a thing. Traditionally here in South Kendra, this belt, the main door is very, very important, teakwood door. So we have taken that from the client side, the input was also. So we took that as a main concept and we have highlighted little more. You enter the main road, you encounter a courtyard. We have a triangular kind of a shape which is derived from the mountain or the butterfly house, the concept what we have it.
Generally what happens is courtyards are something which are very visually pleasing. In most of the scenario, wherever we work in an urban scenario, courtyards are the elements one which it becomes a very interesting visual delight, because it's either placed in a corner or in a location one which you are not physically getting connected to it. But here in this case, what we did was we deliberately made an attempt. We made the courtyard as a physical entity, one which it becomes a very experiential place over here. So for like where I'm standing right now, it's a very interesting feel that as you enter the door, you either walk towards the left-hand side getting into the living room, or you try to pierce yourself inside and go to the private part of the house, that is the dining level.
To give some kind of an enclosure, we have a metal jali kind of a thing what we have created. So through that and the landscaping, what we have put one tree here in the center, which gives a kind of a privacy to the dining space. And towards your left, that's towards the east part of it, where we have a living room. That's the living room. From the living room, you actually get into the veranda space where you sit most of the time. In the northeast part of it, we have the puja room, which is towards the, as per the Vastu also, that's towards the northeast. And to continue with that, this is a swimming pool, which gives some kind of a reflection quality to that, the entire space. And also it gives some kind of a transition from the green to the hardscape. An interesting element for that entire thing is the staircase, because it hugs the entire landscape and which overlooks to the what we are calling is, this is the vista space what we have converted into that. Now when you take up this staircase, that entire Jaisalmer or the ochre kind of thing or the ethnic color comes into picture with complementing to the green patch what is there in here. You go up to the first floor. What happens is that an interesting landing which you get. I mean, we always call these kind of things like incidental space kind of a thing, where people just take a pause and then see some kind of thing. It also through that actually you are in a different level. It's not in the first floor, it's in a mid level, say where you can see the floor as well as you can see through the entire swimming pool and all those thing area.
This is the place in which it's a bridge connecting the staircase and the family portion over here, and we have tried to like deliberately make this look much lighter so that the courtyards towards my left hand side is even more prominently seen. Here, another thing what we are trying to like experiment over here is that in terms of structure, we are trying to make this as a composite masonry, in which most of the columns have been concealed within the wall, and areas in which we wanted the sleekness and in which we couldn't avoid the columns, we are trying to introduce the steel columns, which sort of makes it look much lighter, and even the beam can be avoided, which is seen in the junction of the roof. Predominantly what we are trying to do is like we have used Jaisalmer here throughout the entire floor to sort of have a seamless feel and also enhance the expanse over here, what you see in the entire surface over here.
Daughter's bedroom, what we have placed is towards the best view actually in the entire house, the kind of folded slab which comes through that is the best part of it, and which also gives you different kind of an light and shadow effects to the ceiling, wall and all those things. We also have another interesting element in this is we have the daughter's bedroom toilet which has got bathtub. We sunk in so that you don't have to lift your leg or climb up on top of it. We have a small family room. It's quite large actually for the size of the house. It's not small, but because also you can come outside and sit with a L-shaped veranda which hugs to the main part of the northern facade also, so that you are not detached from the main road of the house. Without disturbing the contour, how you should do it, that was a very interesting, and client was also very perceiving on that, don't disturb the nature or don't cut any more earth kind of thing. So we started utilizing those areas, and this continued, I think, even in smaller areas. For example, the courtyard started coming into the toilet area where you have a lot more trees, keeping those trees kind of thing. And I think it shaped up the way we have envisaged. What we have learned or liked it in this project is when you have a real concept or when you have taken building comes the second, the nature takes over the first part of it. I think it's a lot more easy to continue the journey and it takes in a better shape. So that's what we learned.